Hey guys, welcome to this video. We're going to talk about how to set up models and modes on your controller so that when you're configuring it with Betaflight later, it will all work out for you. Now we're here at the main page. We've just powered on our controller. You're going to go ahead and press the enter button on the left-hand side once, and you'll be in your model selection. So you can see here there's up to 60 models you can set, 60 unique models, and usually you'll set up a different model for each quadcopter, which drone, or maybe even each airplane. If you build airplanes you can create its own model. So it automatically comes with one model 01 already set. So we'll go ahead and use that one and we'll just modify it. But before we do that, I'll show you how to create a new one if you did want to. So you just scroll down to the model number you want to use. So we'll go ahead and use 2. Hold down the select and hit create model. And then you can go through the same setup that we're just about to do with model 1. So for this one, we'll just go to the first model and we'll go ahead and hit page, and that will take us into the first setup page. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna name it. And we're making a Hawk Pro here, so I'm gonna go ahead and name this Hawk Pro. So you can scroll through the letters to get to each one. If you wanna capitalize it, hold down the silver button, and then it'll go to the next one. A, silver button to select, go through to W, capital P, hold down the button. And then once you're done, you've typed what you wanted, you can go ahead and press exit, and then it'll get you back out of that. Now we're gonna go down, there's a lot of different things you can set. These timers will show you different things on your telemetry page on your controller. We'll go ahead and leave those without changing them for now. That's not something you'll necessarily need right away. We're gonna scroll down until we see internal RF. Internal RF and external RF. Internal RF is referring to the 2.4 system, the 2.4 gigahertz system that uses this antenna right here. External RF is referring to adding some kind of long-range module, usually Crossfire or FrSky R9M on the back, which changes the frequency to usually 900 megahertz, which improves connectivity for long ranges. But since we're just using 2.4 with our Hawk Pro, we're gonna go ahead and use the internal RF, this system right here. So we'll go down to mode and we'll press the silver button and change it from off to the first option that it selects, which is XJT, and we're gonna select that with the silver button, and I'm gonna go over to D16 and change it to D8, since we're using a D8 receiver, which means it has 8 channels. So once you're done with that, you'll go ahead and press exit, and that's all we need to do on this first setup page. So we're gonna go ahead and press page and go to the next page. Heli setup, don't need to do anything there. Next page, flight modes, don't need to do anything there. Next page is inputs. And this is where we're going to start changing things. First, you'll see your rudder, which is actually yaw, elevator, which is actually pitch, throttle, which is throttle, and aileron, which is roll. So those are already set up for you, since that's basically what all models will use. As I mentioned before, we're using an 8-channel receiver, so you'll have 4 more channels that you can set up. And we'll use these to do things like arming the drone or changing the flight mode from stabilized to acro or doing a crash flip or something like that. And the last one we're going to set up so that we get RSSI signal or signal strength from the controller to your goggles or your on-screen display. So let's start with the first one at number 5. We'll go ahead and hold down the select button and it'll bring us into here. The input, let's go ahead and give it a name. We're going to call it AUX1 because it's going to be an auxiliary switch and it's our first one. When we're doing our input, we can only use 3 letters. And since the name of this is essentially going to be AUX1, I'm just going to do capital A and then the number 1, because we're only limited to 3, and that should just work just fine for us. So I'll go ahead and press exit now that I've typed that. And down in the name, I'll go ahead and type the full AUX1. And if you're trying to do this quickly, you don't actually have to name them things. This is just for cleanliness and to help you remember what it is. So for AUX1, let's go ahead and change the source. So what we want it to be is we want the source to be this switch right here, because this is what we'll use to arm our drone. I'm gonna go ahead and select the silver button, and once this is flashing, I'll just go ahead and flip switch right here. And so you'll notice it automatically changed to switch F, which is this switch here. So now we're good to go. We'll go ahead and exit that. And now if we look here, when we flip the switch, we can watch this arrow change and these values change from -100 to +100. So we know it's working. So we'll go ahead and exit out of this page and go ahead and do almost the exact same setup for here for AUX2. So I'm naming these here really quick. And we'll go ahead and make the source for auxiliary 2. I'll make it flashing by selecting this, and we'll use this switch here, switch A. So now that it's working, we can see that it's got 3 stages, 100, which is towards me, 0, which is in the center, and -100, which is completely away from me. So we'll go ahead and exit out of this one, do the same thing for auxiliary 3 on this switch. If you ever accidentally exit out without finishing what you're doing, you'll go to the one you were working on, hold it down, and select Edit. That's how you get back into it. And for this one, the source, we're going to use this switch here. Okay, now we've got our first 3 set up, and I'm going to go ahead and set up the last one as the final switch. Auxiliary 4. Okay, we've named those, so we're going to go down to source and make our final source this switch here. And I should mention, these switches, there's 6 switches that you can use. And I used these 4 right here, excuse me. But you're welcome to use this switch over here and this switch as well. It's personal preference, actually. This switch is a momentary switch, which means that it won't stay unless you hold it. So sometimes that can be helpful for a beeper, so it doesn't just beep forever. This is a 3-stage, actually all of these are 3-stage switches. This is a single stage switch. I would suggest making this your ARM switch. That's a pretty good switch to have. Now we have those 4 auxiliary channels set up. We'll go ahead and go over to our mixes, and we're gonna go ahead and set this up as well. So channel 5, we're gonna go ahead and select, and we'll just give it a name, aux1, and you'll notice the source is already A1, which is aux1 that we set up before. So we don't really need to do much besides maybe give it a name, and you don't even have to do that. That's personal preference to make it cleaner and help you remember what you did, but you don't actually have to do that. But we are gonna set these up so that they're actually in there. aux2, aux3, and aux4. Okay, so now we have set up our models and our modes so that we can set it up in Betaflight and it should all work out. Our RSSI channel is actually going to be on channel 9. There is a 9th channel that is the signal strength to the drone, to the controller. So we'll set that up in Betaflight when we do that later. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, definitely let us know. Have fun flying.